Hey everybody, it's Mrs. Patch, and I'm here today to talk to you all about accountability, being accountable. And if you think about our three B's, being safe, being respectful, being responsible, then you already know about accountability. Accountability is when you take responsibility for your actions. If you make a mistake, you admit that you made the mistake and you work to fix it. So, if you've seen Pinocchio, this is one of my good buddies, right? This is Jiminy Cricket. Jiminy Cricket is a conscience, and we all have a conscience inside of us. It's that voice we hear in our head, that feeling we get in our tummy when we're doing something that we know we shouldn't be doing. It's that voice that says, you shouldn't be doing this, don't do it, think about it before you do it. Those butterfly feelings that you get, that's your Jiminy Cricket jumping up and down, telling you right from wrong. And it's up to you to decide whether or not you're going to listen to your Jiminy Cricket. Okay? So if you've made a mistake, done something that you shouldn't, it's up to you to listen to your Jiminy Cricket and fix it. Now, we have some things that get in the way of us being accountable because it can be hard. If we make a mistake, nobody likes to get into trouble, right? If you've done something that you shouldn't do, it can be hard to admit, I did that, right? I forgot to do my homework. I knew I was supposed to do it. I didn't do it. You know, nobody really wants to get in trouble for having done that. So we come up with excuses like the famous, I'm sorry. Right? So you make a mistake, maybe you bump into somebody in the hallway. And instead of saying, oh, I'm really sorry that I bumped into you, which is being accountable, you might say, oh, I'm so sorry. I barely touched you. You're fine. Right? I'm not being very accountable or responsible if my tone of voice doesn't sound like I'm sorry. So I might say the words, but I'm not really being accountable. So it's all in the way you work to fix it, right? Or saying, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. You stopped where you weren't supposed to stop. If you'd have been walking, I'd have never bumped into you. Or saying, well, she made me do it, right? He bumped into me. That's why I bumped into you. That's not being accountable when we blame other people for the things that we did. Or even saying, I didn't do it. Right? I don't know how many of you have done that before, where maybe you've done something, you know you did it, but you don't really want to get in trouble. You don't want to admit it. So you say, I didn't do it. It wasn't me, right? It wasn't me. Or nobody told me I couldn't. That's a good one, right? I've been getting that from kids sometimes with their remote work. I didn't know I was supposed to do it. It's not my fault. Or when you come in with your backpack, maybe you forgot something in your backpack. It's not me. I didn't do it. My mom forgot to pack it. So accountability is when you take responsibility for your actions. You don't blame other people, okay? And it goes along with this. No ifs, ands, or buts. So when your teacher, your parent, when somebody asks you about something, you don't come up with excuses. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. It's not my fault. I didn't know. Accountability says, yeah, I did it. I'm really sorry. What can I do to fix it? So we've been talking a lot about spots. Listen, when we make a mistake, we do something wrong, that can cause the worry and anxiety to happen, and it can make it hard to admit that we made a mistake. But if you're accountable, you know what? I made that mistake. I did it. I'm really sorry. How can I fix it? That leads to your confidence spot getting a lot bigger, and definitely your happiness spot, because it can be hard to kind of carry around something when you know you did something wrong. You have that weight kind of on your shoulders. I did it. I didn't admit to it. That stinks. So then coming clean and saying, listen, I'm really sorry that I did that. How can I make it right? Okay, so that's accountability. So this week, actually, I'm doing a reading, something that I wrote, and it's called No Ifs, Ands, or Buts. So I hope you enjoy the story. And be thinking about this as you go forward. If you catch yourself saying one of these excuses and you know you did it, your Jiminy Cricket inside is saying, I did it, I need to admit it. But you hear yourself saying this, I want you to stop and fix it. I'm really sorry, I did this. What can I do to make it right? All right, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you later. No ifs, ands, or buts. A lesson in accountability. And remember, that's when you take responsibility for your actions, right? And this is written by me, Mrs. Patch. No ifs, ands, or buts, I hear my teacher say to me, but being accountable for my actions can be harder than it seems. Michael told a joke in class and I laughed until I cried. My teacher gave me a stern look and moved me off to the side. I growled and I grumbled while I moved my chair away. I pointed straight at Michael and heard myself say, "But he made me do it. It's not my fault. Move him. Leave me alone. If he hadn't told his silly joke, I wouldn't be here on my own." No ifs, ands, or buts, I hear my teacher say to me, but being accountable for my actions can be harder than it seems. My class was walking down the hall, headed for the gym. I was thinking about the lunch I packed, my thermos filled to the brim, when suddenly, crash, I found that I had bumped right into Belle. She toppled over, scraped her knee, and yelped out as she fell. But I didn't do it. It wasn't me. She fell down on her own. If she hadn't have stopped, I wouldn't have bumped and be standing here all alone. No ifs, ands, or buts, I hear my teacher say to me, but being accountable for my actions can be harder than it seems. In art class, we were painting using colors fierce and bright. I'd created a giant dragon in a battle with a knight. I realized I ran out of blue, so jumped up to get some more. I heard a spill and then a shriek as red paint hit the floor. It wasn't me. It's not my fault. That red paint isn't mine. If Charlie hadn't left it there, there'd be no spill, I whined. No ifs, ands, or buts, I heard my teacher say to me, but being accountable for my actions can be harder than it seems. I was feeling kind of angry, maybe sad and grumpy too. My day just wasn't going the way I really wanted it to. I didn't mean to cause the trouble that happened through my day. I needed to stop and figure out if there might be a better way. No ifs, ands, or buts, I hear my teacher say to me, but being accountable for my actions can be harder than it seems. Accountable, that's what I need to be. Taking responsibility for my actions has got to be the key. First, I went to my teacher and apologized for being silly. Instead of sitting next to Michael, I'll partner up with Lily. Then I went and searched for Belle, who was playing Legos on the floor. I saw the Band-Aid on her knee and knew it must be sore. I'm sorry for bumping into you and causing you to fall. I'll pay better attention next time when I'm walking down the hall. Accountable, that's what I need to be. Taking responsibility for my actions has got to be the key. I started feeling better having worked to make things right. I had one more stop to make in art to lock this responsibility right up tight. I apologized to my art teacher for the paint mess I had made. I did it. It wasn't Charlie. I'm the one to blame. She smiled and she thanked me for the courage to be true. Being accountable can be scary, but it's always the right thing to do. Accountable, that's what I need to be. Taking responsibility for my actions is definitely the key. I know I can't be perfect. Mistakes will happen, this much I know. But if I can be accountable, oh, the places I will go. The end.